Hey, what's up, guys? Me, Fifth and Moliminous. Before we get into this, I'm going to tell you it's a commentary on someone who was doing commentary on me. I guess you don't understand what jokes are, but yeah, so it's just like that. This video reaches 500 likes. I'll probably give out some sort of shirt, probably a parody of us two together if he gives his blessings. But yeah, so if it hits 500 likes, that's something I'll do. I'll go ahead and start the sketches or whatever. As always, hope you enjoy, and peace Slim out. What's up, guys? It's me, Faith and Moliminous. So I don't do reaction videos, as you guys know, but someone made a video about me, and you know I am a complete
You're a
narcissist.
massive attention whore.
Yeah. I'm here with Sheldon, Owen, some guy named Jesse who literally does nothing, so you probably don't know him.
And you shouldn't know me either.
It's not Jesse Wood, but it's someone else. Anyways, yeah. So is everyone in the room?
I wish it was Jesse Wood. Fuck Jesse. Fuck this Jesse.
Yeah, me. Who needs me?
Okay.
And now for something completely different.
The fuck kind of accent is that?
I don't know.
What the fuck is with this accent? It's...
Skipping opening because Spider's Kai!
What?
Excuse me?
Wait, what did he literally
wait.
say there?
Wait, no joke. Did he just call me a kike? Is that what he just said?
I think
You
so.
are kind of a kike. I mean,
Wow.
you're a greedy fucking Jew.
Wow, this guy. Okay.
What did he say though? Like I couldn't
understood
make it out.
skipping, spoilers, that's it.
Legit, he said speed is key.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
What is he trying to say? Like
He's
don't
saying
have an
that-
intro? Like
He's saying that speed is important and you wasted time with an intro.
I mean, doesn't he have intros too?
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently
I
it
mean,
was too
I
long
guess
for his
that's personal
I mean,
preference. That's sure.
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
really need an intro in a commentary
don't.
video, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Under 5 minutes? I call hacks! The time on the video says 5:41! Oh wait, the first 32 seconds was that obnoxious intro. Also, what is with that font? I get you're trying to rip off
sure
parody
this is
cinema
Scottish?
sins, but couldn't you spend 2 seconds to choose a different font?
I can't-
Heck, since your channel is NLP based, why not go with the Equestria font?
Alright, wait, no, pause.
What?
Someone, yeah, thank you.
It sounds
That's
almost
loud.
Slavic.
Okay, the first thing, like, no, I totally am ripping off Cinema Sins. Like, I've never denied that. Totally ripping off Cinema Sins, but that's not even Cinema Sins font.
No, that's just like,
it's just
basic
Arial.
default Arial, yeah.
And I don't use the MOP font because the MOP font, it just doesn't look good to me.
It's garbage.
Like, it's good for the
It's hard to
logo,
read.
but it's not good for that. Like, that's just such a personal preference thing. If you're going to say that, like, my sins are invalid or whatever you do in this, then sure, whatever. But, I mean, that's just literally just a personal preference right there. You should use the MOP font.
It's not even that. It's more just like, in my opinion, something as insubstantial as a font. I mean, like, I wouldn't pay any attention to it. I mean, it's such a small part of the substance of a video, you know?
As
like,
long as I can read what the video is saying, I
Right.
don't care what the font is.
Exactly. It's just a little weird to point that out. I mean, to me, it seems like something pretty petty, but whatever. If it bothers him, it bothers him. Whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
Why do you need the hour portion of the clock? Why?
What?
Especially since it's a 5-minute video. Oh wait, no it's not.
Shootaloo would be great at Bugball.
Luminous can't spell. 2 sins but...
Just say pause or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sinned me on the same point twice, I guess. He says
Yes.
it's not under 5 minutes, and then he says it's not under 5 minutes again. So
He hates you.
I don't get the hour. What does he mean? I'm starting at the hour point.
No, is it why do you have an hour time on the timer? But that's
Oh,
the default Sony
yeah,
Vegas
that's
timer.
the default Sony Vegas timer.
In other words, Faith is lazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean,
Also,
always,
he made a point about your spelling, and he's right. You should fucking learn how to spell, and
No.
you should learn how to grammar, and you should learn how to syntax.
Well, I've said this before. The way I do that, everything's wrong with. Subtitles come last. What I usually do is I kind of like give it a once over, because the thing is, I make my script like while I'm watching, right? And then I record it, and then I'm like, wow, I didn't say anything that I said in the script. I just ad-libbed everything. So then I have to go back and fix it, and then I'm like, wow, I don't want to do this. So I just look to see if there's a red line or a green line, And if there's not, then I say screw it. And if you complain, then I guess
Oh,
dislike.
I see. So you go through right click and pick like the first or second suggestion for the word, just trying to get it done.
Yeah.
Right? Just,
Because the thing is, I make 4 or 5 videos that day. And to me, like, honestly, I lose interest in these types of videos, really. So, like, if I'm not feeling the episode, it definitely shows. Like, there has...
Well, the question, the criticism, I mean, like, what was your intention with the video?
My intention was subtitles were always supposed to... All the subtitles, the sin counters, the timer, those are just extras because people wanted them. I really don't get the point of adding them. Because unless you're deaf, you should be able to hear what I'm saying.
So, Faith, what you're saying is that you did something for your fans?
Yeah.
How dare you?
I mean, the last time I did something for my
That's
fans,
pretty
I got-
disgusting. The
last
the
time I
audience is
did-
always wrong.
I got called a racist the last time I did something for my fans. So.
Wow. I completely understand why.
And you continue to do things for your fans.
Yeah, right.
Unbelievable.
For that. Also, and this is for not just this video, but all cinema sins, both original or parody. I get that these are all nitpicks, but how is Scootaloo being good at something a bad thing? This tends to happen a lot in these kinds of videos.
It's not a bad
I mean,
thing.
like,
Excuse me?
I hate when, I just hate the word nitpick. It bugs me so much.
These aren't even nitpicks. They're general statements made for the sake of comedy that I do.
I mean, like, I haven't asked you ever, like, what, like, when you're making these videos, are you attempting to critique the show for the sake of critiquing it?
No.
Or are you, like, just trying to be funny?
I'm
and
just
entertaining?
trying to entertain a select few group of people.
Like, that's not me saying that, like, people can't argue against your point and say,
Yeah,
like, no,
totally.
it doesn't make sense or wrong. But, I mean, if your intention isn't to be very logical and rational about the critique for the sake of doing so to enact some kind of change or to point out the flaws with it, then I'm kind of sitting here thinking, well, what is he trying to do with this video exactly? It's like he's trying to critique your video, but he's doing it with the same kind of format that you do it in, and it's just, I don't know, it's like somebody trying to critique a stand-up comedy special for the silly logic that the comedian uses, and it's valid, I suppose, but it's just a little bit misguided, maybe, or weird to me.
He just needs to make his titles clickbaity.
Yeah.
Wait, can I say that if the characters are portrayed as kids?
You consider sand on someone's face sexual?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the mental
Yeah,
scarring.
because it's a fate.
I don't get what you mean.
What, you didn't get a counter. Hang on, pause.
Someone has to...
Okay, I do that, and some people get upset because a lot of people in the fandom are really squeamish with stuff like that. But you say you consider sin on the face as sexual. Thank you for the mental scarring. So you're agreeing that you can see it as sexual. So what was your sin for?
No, he's saying that the mental scarring, as in you, he finds you thinking it's sexual mentally scarring, surely.
Is that what he's trying to say? Because that's a
I
really
just-
roundabout
I mean,
way.
kind of
Yeah,
looks
that is a bit weird, yeah.
I mean, it kind of looks like cum on a horse's face. Can we
Does
be
it
a little
not?
bit more honest, guys?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
if I could have, I would have made it white just to emphasize the point, but that's
Should've.
not very advertiser friendly. I did that in the Trade Ya episode.
Thing.
I don't get what you mean.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, someone has to bury the bodies, right?
I see someone's adopted that nasty habit from cinema sins, purposely ignoring context to make stupid jokey jokes.
Yeah, that's
Especially when you had bothered to
entire
include
point.
5 more seconds of the clip. The joke would have made more sense since the parents were talking about how unsettling the cutie mark was. Also, please learn proper punctuation. Please!
Oh, actually, pause.
Yeah, I need to stop because that noise is so fucking loud and he doesn't know how to level at all.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, actually, that is the problem with Sony Vegas 13. I actually have to... I copy and paste my lines in there. Commas and apostrophes don't stay. You have to go back and manually add them all.
Oh, I know, well, I mean, I don't even, I'm just
I don't know, Faith. He's right. I mean, you did it wrong.
No,
You
yeah,
did it
I'm
wrong.
not saying that. I'm just saying
Fucked
it's
up.
a pain. So
You're
sometimes
wrong.
if I realize I haven't been doing that halfway through the video, usually I'll just not do it or only do it for half of the video. But also I can't. There's been totally so many sins where I want to extend the clip or give it more context, but I can't because the more context I give, like the more of the show I actually show, the faster my video gets claimed or the possibility of my video getting striked. So I can't extend MOP.
Okay, how did she dig that far down with just her hoofs?
I love how it is that people are ignorant about horses when they are part of a fandom that is about horses. Young horses do have a tendency to dig holes. Weird, I know, but it's actually a really common thing to see. And as horse owners would actually know and testify to this. Plus one for not knowing how bloody horses work on a channel about horses. Even then, she's an earth pony. Earth pony. Costing us out.
Yeah, but
Wait,
you're
since
talking
when
about
does like
a large hole.
Yeah, but since when does Earth Pony like? When is that associated with like ponies who know how to dig holes and shit? And
Especially
like,
that far down
like-
to fossil levels.
Like I get like yeah, they're like good at growing shit and planting stuff, but like digging massive holes in 2 seconds, like I don't. I mean, I guess they have.
I'm sure that's somebody's special
stronger.
talent, though. Somebody
I mean,
has to
yeah.
have that.
Yeah, but he's saying, in terms of horse or
He's
sorry,
saying
horse,
that it's
it's
this
Earth
is just
ponies in
horses
general,
full stop.
right?
Also, I don't
mean,
think a fandom
I guess
about...
they have super. I guess they're stronger.
Well, yeah,
and, like,
yeah, but I don't think a fandom about magical ponies. I don't think the fans should know literally everything about horses.
Oh yeah, that's
like
it.
that's a
so
really
dumb.
retarded point. Like what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Real world examples, laddies and lasses. Earth ponies are said to have magical properties in the show when it comes to the earth. Plus 2 cents for
down
not
her
knowing how the
volume,
basic
please.
knowledge of ponies work.
And why did her parents let her?
Ah, another ignoring context moment. They were inside the damn house talking with Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom.
That's not an
Also,
excuse.
missed an opportunity. We saw just a few seconds ago that she just made a dent in the sandbox of
dumb.
sand. But now she's suddenly that far deep in a matter of seconds? Even for a magical world of ponies, that's stretching it.
That was the
Also,
original
about-
point of the sin.
So
though,
keep that in mind, though, that he says that digging a hole this deep in a matter of seconds is stretching it. Remember that, everybody.
Over 30 seconds in, and we have more sins than the actual sins video. And another sin!
What? All right,
Is he sinning himself?
I
Dino
guess.
is meaning terrible, potent, or fearfully great. And Saurus meaning lizard or reptile.
Wouldn't she ever say dinos? She could have said ponies. Also, gotta love the consistent use of parentheses here, folks.
So I guess it's just pony
Parentheses.
reptile? Which raises some interesting questions about the evolution of ponies.
Well, damn! Moliminous correct the evolutionary code of ponies! Someone called Neil deGrasse Tyson!
What?
I mean,
Neil
was that
deGrasse
what
Tyson
was
is an astrophysicist.
yeah, and what was that point exactly?
Yeah, I don't know what
was
he-
that a joke or was that some
I
kind of
don't know.
critique of his reasoning or something?
I
like
mean,
that?
they
What was
became
that?
pony reptiles. Like they're literally.
I think I think like you were saying in that point about like dinos and saw is that the part of dinosaur that means reptile is the saw part, not the dinos part.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fact that there was a ponysaurus means it's a pony reptile.
Which is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Given-
That's your point.
Yeah.
He didn't get that because he doesn't know what dinosaur means.
Like, I don't know. Whatever. I guess it just went
I
over
don't- I
some
don't
people's heads. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a pretty reasonable question. It was kind of like, yeah, that is kind of weird, but okay.
She's an archaeologist.
You dug out fossils with your hoofs? Jesus.
What were you expecting? She's an earth pony!
What?
That's not the point.
She's
The
a pony.
point is that it's surprising. It's like, wow, this horse like dug into the ground and found fossils with just their bare hooves.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's that. It's like absurd, right? That's the point. The point isn't like, well, what did you expect? She's a pony. I don't expect a horse to fucking do that, you know.
I mean,
Horses,
even
hooves
like
are
I'm
quite
sure
weak.
even Earth ponies would like use shovels with their mouths or something
Sure,
along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
What'd you think she was gonna be? A pirate?
That's cute, but why were they holding the outfits there? They didn't have them a second ago.
Taking an obvious joke seriously. Also another missed opportunity. Notice how the mother has a clam and pearl cutie mark, while the father has 2 crossed swords for one? You had a clear pirate conspiracy joke right in front of you and you missed it!
The what?
So remember,
He
so
didn't catch
remember,
a spelling error, by the way. I'm just pointing that out. He's been dinging me on spelling errors, but he didn't say it says it was there a moment ago, but it should be it wasn't there a moment ago.
Well, yeah, Faith is you're your own best critic, aren't you?
Yes.
That's
Well,
what
I
you're
mean,
trying-
if I cared, I would be, but
if I care,
I don't
care
get-
enough to watch his video and make a video about
But
his video critiquing you. So
this is the problem that a lot of people find with the thing is like, I don't know every single reference that is ever made or could possibly be made. Like, what people need to realize is, like, the same thing happened with the Owls and Z or whatever for Dr. Hoofs. Like, I don't watch every show. I haven't seen every movie. If the show's not specifically
I
doing
don't
a
think he's
reference, I'm
saying
not
it's
gonna-
like a reference to a TV show. I think he's saying that it's like, well, that it looks like pirates, but no, it doesn't. It just looks fancy and posh,
Is that-
really. When I think of because it's they're not crossed swords, they're bloody
rapiers.
things. Yeah, the
Rapiers.
rapiers for jousting.
Yeah, joust.
Right. I think
Fencing, you mean.
or fencing. Sorry, yeah, not jousting. Fuck. They're rapiers for fencing, right?
Yeah.
So I think posh, and it's a pearl in a clam, and I think I don't think pirates.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Right,
I
me
noticed
too,
the
I see those
rapier.
So did I.
I tried
And
to make a
noticed
joke
people
with the
making that
rapier,
point.
but I didn't
Yeah.
see anything because rapiers are something that fencing is something that's really done a lot at country clubs and stuff like that. It's a very upper class thing to do
Yes,
in America.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah, it is. So earlier on, he mentioned that it's a stretch that she digs the hole so deep, and she said, or he said that Faith, you should have pointed that out. That was a missed opportunity. And he docks you a sin point, or he adds a sin point to his commentary on your video. But when you point out the exact same kind of stretch with the pirate costumes, which you
how it
count as a sin,
appeared a moment ago.
right?
In seconds,
His response to that is, "Oh no, well it's a joke. You need to stop taking it seriously." And then he gives you another sin point. And look, if he thinks that digging this hole is a stretch, which is part of the setup of this entire joke, right? It's a segment of this joke. It's necessary to tell the punchline so that it's funny. The fact that she's digging a hole and finding bones in the backyard, I mean, obviously that's part of it. So then the pirate costumes should also be a stretch, right?
Rather than just a joke that Faith missed.
And it's not like it's all right to say that, you know, because yes, it's a stretch, but it's still funny. So I think that's okay. Like you could say that, and that's still pretty reasonable. But the way he makes it sound here is that, oh well, you missed this perfect opportunity at this one point, but then when the show does it here, oh, but it's the punchline, so it's okay. So when it's the setup to the joke, no, that's not valid. But when it's the punchline and I laughed, oh, but it's fine. And it's just kind of a weird double standard, right? Like if you're gonna criticize Faith for something and then say that no, you should have done this would have been better. And then when the show does it, oh, but it's okay. And why are you saying this, Faith? That's wrong. It's
Yeah.
like, what? It's the same fucking thing. Like, what are you talking about?
My little pony.
skip.
God love them easy sins, you know. Here's another one right now.
Yeah,
What?
how
What?
convenient. Everyone you helped is just
Wait,
out
what
about
kind of sin?
doing their special talent.
Did you skip the intro, I guess?
Yeah, he said, skip the intro. Just because, okay, well, I'll give you one just because, right?
Oh, okay.
Well,
but
I
that's
see what you're
actually-
saying.
Skip Faith's intro.
Yeah. But also,
Yeah,
I
the,
don't, I don't, I don't get you.
Yeah,
Is this meant
Oh!
to be some, like next level like irony? Are we on some like
we're on like 3 or 4 different layers of irony
yeah,
right now, my
exactly.
dude.
That it must be.
Dude,
There's no other way.
Manga Comment owes you a fucking sin, dude. He fucking took a sin from you unjustly, because you're right. For the intro, he gave you a sin. And now he gave you another sin, and he said the excuse was the intro. He fucking stole a sin from you, Faith. What the this piece of fucking shit.
There's actually
Oh
a
my
reason
God.
why I send the intro, besides the fact that it's gaudy and awful and it's
Oh,
a
you're the
horrible
worst.
song. It's because they put the intro in Content ID. That's what they'll do to catch
A lot of-
new episodes because
A lot
they
of
use-
reactors do that. They skip the intro.
Yeah, they put
because
the
it's
intro
like-
specifically in Content ID because that's not going to change throughout the season. So
Yeah.
even though the episode's not in Content ID yet, the intro is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
Nothing
could just
perfect.
not mention the intro and just go right into the episode.
Nah. It's an easy
Nah.
sin. It is an easy sin. It
It's
helps
funny.
bolster.
Fuck you, Faith.
The,
I like the intro.
sin
Fuck
count.
you.
I don't
It's
really
not-
like it, man. It's cringy
Bitch.
to me.
You're the worst.
Of course it's cringy. You're hanging out with a
I'm
bunch of
Faith on
cringy
this one. I
bronies.
skip the intro every time.
Yeah, how convenient. Everyone you helped is just out about doing their special talent.
Moliminous obviously has never seen a street performer in their life. Blue Note and the one-off character whose name I can't be bothered to look up have talents that are in entertainment. It's not a stretch that they would be doing their talents as street performers.
And at
And
the
before
same
anyone gets
time,
So hold on. He gives you a sin for the rebuttal that you have never seen street performers. And then he goes on to explain why his rebuttal is valid because he's trying to give you context into this character and why he would be a street performer. So shouldn't that just be one sin? Because he's just providing substance to his point. Like that's not worth two sins, that's worth one sin.
Yeah.
Right. Why did he give you two?
but the thing is, he's like, oh, they're street performers, but it's like all of them are performing at the same time that we've never seen done before. Then there's both biceps working out with customers at the same time, all in the same lane. Like,
Well,
that's
here's,
the thing.
here's another thing though. That's a stretch. That's an assumption. You're making an assumption that there's a street performer. Well, what? Excuse me, what? Based on what?
Because he plays jazz, Owen.
So he's a street
because
performer.
he's in the street playing sax.
Like,
He must be.
I don't
street-
get it. Like that. Like, is it a serious point that there could be street performers? That seems so dumb. Like, what? From where are you pulling this idea from? The amount of assumptions that you have to make to agree with, yep, they're street performers is stupid. Let's just assume that, no, they're not street performers. They're just there doing their shit.
We all know that the creative intention of the characters all being in this scene doing their
It's
special
not
talent.
because they're street performers. Like,
Right,
that's not
it's
it at
because-
all.
It's because they're reminding the audience that the CMC have helped a
Exactly.
lot of ponies find their special talent.
It's setting
you know,
up
or,
context
you know,
for the
what
rest of
that
the
means.
episode.
Right.
That is the
Yeah.
authorial
Exactly.
intent. It is not
Right.
because they are
Exactly.
fucking street performers. That's so weird.
Our video
Which-
is already
which-
twice his oh my
But this
God.
is we're coming up with good shit. But also, it's better to say it's more reasonable to say that it's more contrived than that they're out there because we know what their
Yes.
intention was, right?
Yes.
Like it's not reasonable to say, well, they're just street performers.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's not
my whole
contrived.
point. My whole point is that he's finding the excuse for it to not be contrived,
Right.
and he's just pulling shit out
It
of his ass.
completely is. Shut up, man.
So in my case with bulk, yeah, there's a reason why there are outside gyms and muscle competitions. How else would you think I got these plus 10 biceps?
What does that have to do with a muscle competition, though?
He gave you three
That's
sins.
racist.
How the bloody hell do you screw up a
racist.
well-known meme? That's racists! Way to go, Plural!
What?
Also, as a griffin myself,
Hey,
Way to
plural.
go.
Fucked up. You put that's racist and not that's racist.
And also, you got the meme wrong.
I got what
apparently.
meme? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know the meme. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I
Clearly.
mean, I'm not like an
Clearly.
encyclopedia of memes. Or
you know, I
anything.
noticed he stopped circling, like, because this is only the second time he pointed it out, but the first time, he did the editing where he at least circled it. I think someone's getting lazy the longer the video goes on.
It's not just you this time, Faith.
Yeah, it's not just me.
but to give you a sin for playing that card.
So no matter what he was gonna send me.
Bad touch! Stranger danger!
Look, I got nothing against using media clips for humor, but JonTron is so overused.
Wait,
overused.
pause it.
I got a point. Actually, Jesse, you can go.
He's overused because he's got a lot of quotable scenes in his videos.
Yeah.
You know,
That's like God. That's so. Ugh. I get it. I get your point. He's overused, yeah, but he's overused for a reason. It's not like people who just use footage out of nowhere.
it's
Like,
not just a
you-
bandwagon hopping thing. Like they use
Yeah,
his
yeah.
clips because they're funny and they get
Right.
one little thing across easily.
Look, if the clip works, it works. Who cares? Right? Like to me, it's both. It's people who say like, "Oh, it's just overused." It's kind of a dumb way of saying like, "Well, I just don't think this is funny,"
No, but
right?
it's
Or
not
maybe
even
it's or hold on, or maybe it's a way to criticize something because somebody holds the pre-existing belief that if something is overused, well, it's just negative. It's just always negative. You shouldn't. You should not use things that are overused, right? But that's not reasonable, is it? I mean, if it works, it works. What does it matter?
But before he was mad that I didn't do a meme, but he was gonna send me anyways because he said I was playing that card.
Did a meme.
And then I used the meme, and now I get sent because I used the meme. So it's like, what, do you want me to use memes or do you not?
Simply Ebbin.
He skipped like half that.
Again with the media clips, and in less than 30 seconds. Seriously, can't you come up with your own material or jokes, or at least emote?
Couldn't you have came up with your own content since you tagged this video? By the way, he tagged this video so weird. He literally tagged content for a tag in this video.
Content?
Yeah, that's one of the tags. He tagged content. Like, what?
The most generic kind of video.
Who goes to YouTube and searches content?
Who goes to YouTube and doesn't find content?
Yeah, that too.
Well, that must be his fault. You think, oh man, content. I don't know if he's trying to bandwagon on like Content Cop or something, but that's
Is that what he's trying to do? Because he's nowhere near iDubbbz' level.
Does it say cop anywhere? Because if it does, that would be what it is.
No,
Okay,
he adds
then-
Cinema
Go
Sins
to YouTube
ripoff.
and search something that doesn't have content.
Yeah.
content.
A video
And
without
he also he claims that you should come up with your own material. I mean, like, isn't the majority of this
whole
video your own
thing.
material?
Yeah.
Like, and then he says, come up with your own jokes. It's like, but you do come up with your own jokes. I mean, like what is he trying to say? That no, the whole video should just be, don't use any other clips of anybody else's, jokes and shit. Like, they all have to be your jokes. And if they're not, that is bad. It's like, well, no, I don't think that's very reasonable. I mean, some of my favorite content creators use clips. Jesse Wood, Spoonie. A bunch of people.
Even the extremely big YouTubers still use other YouTubers' clips.
Yeah.
Like,
works for the joke. I don't see a problem.
Foxy,
Laugh,
Pyrocynical uses Filthy Frank all the time, and PewDiePie uses Filthy Frank. He's literally the biggest content creator, and he references Frank and iDubbbz all the time. So
I want you to give me a cutie mark.
you're liking the
Also what? You didn't have a point before this!
adult who sees every
Well, he
griffin in
did.
town, and what? You've never noticed that no other griffin has a cutie mark?
That's kind of the point. She came here to get the cutie mark since no other griffins have one. Context! You love cutting it out! Also, again! Punctuation is your friend! Not even halfway through, and we've already doubled the number of sins. You know what that means, everyone? If you said another sin, you'll be wrong! It's time for margaritas!
Really? You're just
What? What is this joke? Wait, what?
Please kill me.
wait. Why is he outside their clubhouse in the bushes?
To play some sick beats, of
Oh,
course!
he's a street performer.
These unnecessary jokes. Wait,
I'm going
I'm
to,
saved for that.
no,
Okay,
no,
let's
no.
deconstruct that joke. Why
No,
was
I'm
that
going
a
to-
joke, and why was it funny?
No,
Somebody
guys.
explain it.
We gotta give him a sin for using that meme.
Yeah, he did use that
The
overused
saxophone player.
meme.
Using an
So-
unoriginal joke.
I see. It was
An
a meme.
unoriginal joke. He can't make his own humor. Terrible. Poor show, man. Poor show.
And the hypocrisy with this guy. I swear.
I honestly don't want to be friends with a guy who doesn't think a grown man hanging outside of a bunch of little kids' clubhouses in the bushes is funny. Like, that's not a guy I want to hang out with.
The explanation is that he's clearly a pedophile, right?
Yeah, that's the joke.
Pony getting a cutie mark.
You know, Faust, being someone who's all for equal rights, sure did kind of drop the ball on ponies being the only race to have magic, or get cutie marks.
Discord, not a pony. Derek, not a pony. Zakora, not a pony.
Sakura doesn't have magic.
Doesn't she
Sakura
like brew
doesn't have
potions? She brews potions that are magical, right? Like she doesn't
And Tyrik's
herself
not really.
possess magical prowess.
Tyrik himself
first
and Discord
come up-
himself aren't their own races. We don't see tribes of Discords and tribes of Tyriks. What What we see are tribes of zebras, griffins, etc., and none of them have magic. And that's what I'm saying. They don't have magic. They don't have I explain this. I usually explain these sins more in the reviews, which are also facetious. But it's like, they don't have something to tell them what they're supposed to do for the rest of their life. Like, they just kind of have to figure that out. And they don't have magic to solve all their problems either. It's kind of bullshit, to be honest.
Also, you explicitly mentioned Faust, and he mentioned Tyrek, who Faust had no involvement.
Yeah.
At all. Like, what's your point? Like,
I was kind of talking about, like, what Faust had originally...
No, yeah, like, not your
show.
point. What's his point?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what? I don't get it. He's dumb.
Yeah. And the only person the only character he mentions as an example who could apply to Faust was Zecora. But again, Zecora doesn't have magic. She is not magical. So, I mean, what's your
he
point?
says technically as well, which is...
What does that even mean?
What?
Like, you don't elaborate on it or anything.
She is magical or not, and funny enough, she's not magical. She can't use magic.
Right.
So, you mean a writer who knows what continuity is and how to apply it?
How the bloody hell is this a sin when it's actually a good thing to have decent continuity going on? Maybe you had added something like, oh, I don't know, blasphemy at the end of it there, then you'd have a potentially funny joke and the makings of a sin. But here? Then you'd have a potentially funny joke and the makings of a sin. Stuff is confusing and you not knowing how to do a sin or a joke.
Hold on. What's happened? Is it doing it again?
Yeah, it's doing it again. I mean,
Is
I
it?
basically get the gist of his point. Maybe it's just this particular section, but... Like, the thing is, he's pretty upset because I didn't add blasphemy to...
No, because you called good continuity a sin.
It's the fact that it's taking them this long, really. The fact that 90% of the episodes this season have just ignored the main arc, like, the main plot of the season, traveling Equestria, the map. I was just saying, like, the fact that they just left out so much stuff in the season, essentially... like the traveling Equestria, the map, the focus on Starlight Glimmer, all that stuff has just been completely forgotten.
And then we get some writers who come along and they're like, actually, yes.
Yeah.
Applying.
So basically, what
continuity
you're
to
saying, so what you're saying in essence is that the reason you gave it a sin was that you're pointing out that the continuity, the continuity in the show has not been the most consistent and well thought out.
Yeah.
So you're basically making that point. You're saying this is a sin.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Because
he
the
specifically
continuity
says it would be okay if I added blasphemy at the
Right,
end.
and here's the thing, though.
No. Context.
I understood what you said, and you didn't need to say blasphemy.
I felt like that would be overkill. Like, if you
Right,
have to
right,
hammer
like,
home
why-
that you're
Right,
like,
I understood the joke. I mean, I get it. Right.
Well,
so
the difference is that he didn't get the context. He thought you were being ironic by saying, what? Continuity? How dare they? You know.
Right. Hence, the autism being on display here clearly does not understand the social cue of a being facetious, a joke in the context of this video. So we can chalk that up to the good old tisms, I think, and can continue.
Seems like the simplest explanation.
Help Gabby get a cutie mark, but we can still do what we're best at. We can help her find her purpose.
You're gonna find something that she wants to do for the rest of her life in the next 22 minutes? Sheesh. And I thought asking kids to do that before high school was a tight deadline.
Considering all the flaws and the context nitpicks, it seems you're on tight deadline.
But you think her special
Excuse me?
talent could be...
Okay.
I don't...
But
I mean,
nitpicks are relative. So, I mean, if Faith thinks it's a nitpick, then it's a nitpick.
I just
to
think
him.
it's funny that they're
Sorry. I fucked that up. If Faith thinks that, I don't know, like maybe your intent was to be funny.
Yeah.
But if you really find that to be a problem, then I mean that's still valid. I mean, because to you it's substantial. It's something that you feel like pointing out that bugs you.
I just thought
Right,
it was
to him,
funny,
might be-
like the.
Well, yeah, like to him it might be a nitpick, but if your intent was that, you know, I have a problem with this, like let's just pretend it is, then still, I mean, how is saying that that's a nitpick a good critique? Because nitpick is rather relative, don't you think?
Yeah.
To what? Yeah, to say that someone else's point is invalid
like-
because it's a nitpick.
Like, yeah, he might have a problem with it being a nitpick, or he might think it's nitpicky. But instead of saying I think it's nitpicky, why don't you say like, well, you know, to me, I don't think that this is an issue because X or Y. At least do that. Like, don't just be like, well, it's just a nitpick. I mean, that's kind of like a cop-out way of saying I just don't agree with you.
I already know. What he's about
Or it
to
could
say.
be another. It could be another cop out of saying that I don't think that your point is as bad as you're making it out to be. But yeah, still.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Be having babies? Wow, geez, that's a little sexist, don't you think?
Not necessarily, since that's clearly a pony baby, due to the lack of a beak and having hair. It could be that she's a mentor for young minds, a babysitter, Wait, why am I justifying this? It's not a baby griffin! End of story! Stop going for low blows!
Wow, that's racist. You think a griffin can only take care of a griffin?
She knows advanced trigonometry, but she didn't know only ponies get cutie marks?
I think
Twilight
he
clearly
assumed
said that
you
it hasn't
meant
happened before.
Wait, pause
giving
it.
birth.
Hey, wait, pause.
I thought it was just like when I went to that, when I said that, one, it was just a joke. Two, I mean, it looks like pretty much a human baby. It's not very detailed. I was just making a joke there, you know. That's kind of what I do. It was supposed to be a serious statement.
Maybe that's kind of what he's trying to do as well. I guess it's just not.
But if he's sitting me for making a joke while making a joke of the sin,
I mean, you know what? Here's the thing I was saying earlier, where it's pretty obvious, at least what I gather from these videos that you make, and I don't watch a lot of them, but the ones I do watch, I get the feeling that you're trying to be funny, like you're trying to be a comedian, right? You're just trying to make an entertaining, funny kind of video. Like you're not. I don't get the feeling that you're using this format of the CinemaSins kind of style here to sincerely critique the show.
No.
Right? And I said this earlier, but it seems like what he's doing is he's more sincerely trying to critique your work with this
No, honestly, I think he's trying to be funny as well, because I think that would be stupid if you were to use the CinemaSins format without trying to be funny. But the problem is, I don't think he understands that Faith is trying to be funny. So I don't think he understands that he's trying to make funny jokes about funny jokes.
Maybe maybe what I
he's trying to make jokes about jokes. Is
that's
what I'm
a
saying.
lot of layers there.
Yeah, but it's stupid.
Here, to me, his video is coming off as a lot more serious in terms of a critique than.
Well, that's only
Faith's.
because you don't think he's that funny, right?
It kind of comes out to me as him trying to be more serious.
No, because the points. No, because he's not making points that are clearly facetious and supposed to be a joke. He's legitimately looking at Faith's stuff and going, "No, you're wrong because of this."
Yeah.
He's making some jokes. You know, he did the dumb trumpet thing or whatever, the meme or whatever, and he's, that's fine. Like, I get those are jokes, but when he's bringing up, oh well, you don't know that horses dig holes. It's like. It's like, okay, but it gives off the air of this more sincere kind of critique, and it's just kind of like you do realize that, like,
I mean,
let's
be honest, it gives off the air of someone who doesn't understand humor.
Yeah,
And
well, I mean, he
have
is doing a
tiny
British
little bit
accent,
of
so
ism.
Sure, yeah, tiny bit of the tisms, yeah.
Am I justifying this? It's not a baby griffin! End of story! Stop going for low blows!
Need to level his voice.
She knows advanced trigonometry, but she didn't know only ponies get cutie marks?
Twilight clearly said that it hasn't happened before, that it was improbable, but not impossible. Please pay attention to the actual episode and not try to make nitpicks out of thin air.
Pause it. A mathematical improbability is a layman's impossibility. So your statement doesn't make sense. When someone says something in a scientific sense is improbable to such a high degree, that means it's not going to happen. For layman's, mathematical improbability is the same thing as saying impossible.
So what you're trying to say is what Twilight was basically saying. Look, it's improbable, and what that usually means is that we're so certain. We can't say for 100% certainty that it can't happen, but we're 99% confident that it will not happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, he didn't catch that was not trigonometry that she was doing, but whatever.
Yeah.
That was like calculus.
I don't
too.
really, you say like,
Actually,
it could be, knows math, thus
it could be pre-calculus or trigonometry.
It looks like an exact calc.
I mean, it's wrong. It's actually wrong. It's not even right trigonometry.
Who puts y in a function like that?
Somehow you keep missing proper punctuation. There's supposed to be a comma after that somehow.
Gabby's special purpose can't
sure.
do everything, right?
She's too MLG, I guess.
Or like whenever someone makes a video about you and deny all the flaws of said video they cover. I'll be sure to keep that in mind when you're in my comment section.
Oh dear.
Needs to know about this.
I don't know what he says, but it was about you.
Yeah,
He was
I heard a
calling
bunch
you
of.
out.
I heard a bunch of ramblings from a madman, but he's throwing shade.
Yeah,
your way,
I
dude.
guess he is. Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm so scared. Magakama doesn't find my videos hilarious. I'm gonna
And
go
that's a
kill
sincere
myself.
point I'm making, though. Like this accent and the rate at which he's speaking,
You can't actually.
I can't understand. I'm having a very difficult time understanding some of his points.
Yeah.
I bet she'll want to write a whole book about the very first griffin to get a cutie marker of her own.
Okay, I know griffins don't exist, but I doubt a feathered beast would sweat in such large quantities and such obvious droplets.
And I doubt they'd be able to talk either. Cartoon logic being used in a cartoon. Who'd have thunk it?
It was actually a callback to other Sins videos that I did,
Teleporting
but
2 feet because walking would have taken too much effort.
It's Twilight Sparkle. It's what she does. Did you even watch the previous episodes, Lassie? Alright, you have, considering how many episodes you've made of the series.
I don't get it.
That raises an interesting question. How much caloric burn-off and energy does it take for a unicorn to
Oh my
teleport? Walk?
Is Twilight
This
causing
is-
the
this
heat
is the
death of the
mo-
universe by teleporting?
By Brony Notion.
No, I'm doing it. I'm
How many
doing it.
calories does Twilight burn from teleportation? I mean, it would explain why a bookworm is so fit.
Is teleporting a really good exercise in Equestria?
No, but what I'm saying is, man, that is so much more interesting than anything he said in this entire video. Like, I genuinely would rather be watching a theory video about Twilight teleporting versus walking and caloric intake.
I mean, if they actually did that, that would be really great. We haven't had someone do actual science
Faith,
like that.
make a
since
theory
Sonic
video.
Boom.
How many calories can you burn?
Did you even watch the previous episodes, Lassie?
Jeez.
Alright, you have, considering how many episodes you've made of the series.
He doesn't normalize.
No, he doesn't.
Not only that, but he's actually shouting.
The pony she helped doesn't even stop to thank her.
Well, for one, Gabby was pushing the car, so you had to take on the amount of force she was exerting into account.
Excuse me?
Also,
What?
this is another opportunity.
What did he say?
He
What?
said you have to take the force into account that Gabby was from Gabby pushing the cart, but that doesn't stop him from stopping. Like,
So
he just
thank
keeps on
her.
going. Or he could even shout a thank you.
Joke, and the griffins are jokes.
What?
You mean the cutie mark that's running right off your flank?
I don't get it.
What kind of paint did she use to stick to fur like that?
Hair dye. Considering that your avatar has purple hair, I would assume you would know that there are washable dyes that can be used for stylizing hair.
Excuse me?
Very own cutie mark.
You wouldn't use hair dye like
Who made these
paint.
badges? And on such short notice?
The CMC. Duh. Let's see. Huge paper heart for Charlie. Upper right foot with working engine. Made in one night, mind you. Costumes for the talent show. Do I need more examples or are we good here?
All that shows is that it's bullshit.
Huh, a party and yet we don't see Pinkie Pie once.
Can't you even be bothered to capitalize a major character's name
No,
properly?
because she's a horrible
Speaking
character
of
and should
characters, how
die.
come they never actually-
Fuck you, that's my
That-
waifu, bitch!
Oh, hey, he actually added effects again. For the
Oh,
last
now
one.
look what you did! You broke it!
Jesus Christ, he is so loud.
Yeah, he needs to learn how to normalize his audio. He's clipping so hard, you can hear it.
And not
in
be
his-
so close to the dang mic.
Yeah, you can hear in his audio. He's clipping really hard. Like usually,
You just don't understand my style of video editing! Ah, margaritas for everybody!
that's the thing though as well. He's doing the same thing that Tune Critic does, where he's like, "Hey guys, you can't hold me like for being a jackass because I'm using a different persona, and he's meant to be the bad boy." You see how he has his normal OC and then his black and blue one. I guess it's better than black and red.
I just don't know why he doesn't just talk in a
Normal voice.
normal way. I can understand what he's saying half the time. Like, I mean, like if the point of your video is to whatever, maybe entertain or critique somebody in some kind of manner, wouldn't it be really important that the audience can understand what you're saying? I mean, it seems to me like that's a pretty big thing up there. And I know that, like, you know, maybe other people understand this perfectly, and that's fine. But I mean, look, I'm having a hard time understanding this guy, and I normally don't have a hard time understanding people with accents. Like, I live in Canada. It's very a lot of diversity here, as Justin Trudeau would love to say. Diversity everywhere.
It's 2015.
Right, it's 2015, guys. Lots of Asians, lots of people from India, lots of Somalians, lots of various different accents. I mean, I can generally, for the most part, understand these people perfectly fine. And a lot of them are considerate and take the time to speak slower so that, we can understand them here. This case, man, this is just way too, you speak way too fast. Your accent is really thick and heavy, and it's difficult to understand you. And
Plus,
I think it's kind of
clipping, so his audio, it's like, it's really bad.
That's not even taking into account the obvious artifacting that's occurring due to the clipping. So, I mean, also his points. Some of his points are just like, I don't know. I really value. I can make some leeway. When if there's a creator I really like or I find really charming or entertaining, and some of their points are kind of iffy, like I can kind of let it slide and go, it's okay, whatever. I mean, they're making me laugh. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. But a lot of the points he makes here, it's like he doesn't understand the context of the video, or maybe not even that, the intention you put into your CinemaSins parody here. And because of that, a lot of the criticisms he tends to pose, they're not good. They don't make any sense, or he's missing context or something, right? So it's like, well, you either you didn't get the joke, or you're making a point here that's a huge stretch. Like, for example, he brought up the they're all just street performers, guys. They're all just street performers. Come on.
That's why he's in the farm, in the bushes.
Faith will make a bunch of jokes, about the cum on the horse's face or whatever, and he'll be like, "Oh, he'll take it like no, like sand does not look like cum on." It's like, no, that was a joke. That was supposed to be funny, that it's a sexual joke. I mean,
If you didn't find it funny, then sure, but who gives?
Exactly. You don't have to argue as though well, it's logically incorrect when no shit.
Yeah.
It's absurd. It's supposed to be, that's why it's funny. So, or it's supposed to be funny. So yeah, all in all, not a very good video.
So that was our commentary on my comment. Kind of cut it off there because we just kind of rambled on about Donut Steel. All in all, his video is meh. I didn't really care about it. I hear he does some decent other work. Like, we think we've critiqued some of his other videos maybe before. He normally does some pretty good work. So if you guys are interested, be sure to check him out. Like, I don't want to seem like this is counter hate. Like, I'm not trying to counter hate with hate. But he does do some actually pretty nice things. And yeah, so some of his other videos are a little bit more cynical. But, if you like his kind of style, go check him out.